Welcome back to the Coin Spot. Today we're diving into the world of American nickels, the top 6 USA 5-cent coins that can be valuable whether they're in extra fine condition or even in bad condition. From rare mint marks to historic strikes, these coins still hold surprising value in today's market, so get ready, coin collectors. Let's explore the most interesting and valuable US 5-cent coins you should be checking in your pocket change right now. This is your channel for rare coins, market updates, and real collector knowledge. Let's start the countdown. Top 1. The 1989 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel, specifically the version with the Denver D mint mark, found in extra fine condition. If you have this coin or you want to learn its history, rarity, and today's market value in dollars, then you're at the right place. Historical background: the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features obverse Thomas Jefferson's portrait, his home, Monticello. By 1989, the design had already become a classic piece of American coinage. These coins were used daily by millions of people across America, which means finding one today in extra fine condition is much harder than it seems. 1989 D mint mark. What makes it special? The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint. In 1989, Denver produced millions of nickels, but most entered circulation and became worn out. A coin from 1989 that is still in extra fine condition shows clear hair details on Jefferson, sharp lettering, only light wear on the cheek, jawline, and Monticello steps, clean surfaces with no heavy scratches. Because most 1989 D nickels were heavily used, XF coins are much more collectible. Mintage and availability: the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1989. However, survival in high grade is much lower. Collectors today look for extra fine, about uncirculated mint state. XF condition sits in the middle tier, offering both affordability and collectability. Today's market value in dollars: what is a 1989 D 5-cent coin worth in extra fine condition in today's collector market? Regular circulated condition. Face value: 5 cents. Extra fine condition: 20 cents to 50 cents USD. About uncirculated: $1 to $2. Mint state: MS 60 plus. $5 to $15. High grade: MS 66, MS 67. $50 to even $200 plus if perfectly preserved. So while the XF value is modest, rare high-grade pieces can bring strong money, especially at auctions. Is it rare? The 1989 D nickel is not rare in general, but in extra fine condition, it is less common than circulated coins and can still attract collectors who want clean, eye-appealing examples. It becomes valuable when it has full steps on Monticello. It is nearly uncirculated. It has no scratches, dents, or discoloration. These premium features can boost value significantly. Collectors love the 1980s Jefferson nickels because they complete modern sets. They're affordable. They show American history. They preserve a classic design. Coins in XF or better condition from this era are increasingly being pulled aside for future value. The 1989 D USA 5-cent coin in extra fine condition may not be the rarest nickel in American coin history, but it is definitely a worthy addition to any modern coin collection. It represents American history. It is harder to find in high grade. Its value can grow over time, and high-end mint state examples can bring big auction prices. If you have one, keep it safe. It could be a future treasure. Top 2. The 1983 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel, specifically the version with the Philadelphia P mint mark, found in extra fine condition. If you are a collector, a beginner, or someone who found this coin in pocket change, stay with me till the end. This coin has a surprising history, collector demand, and a market value you should know. Historical background: the Jefferson nickel has been an American classic since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the nickel replaced the famous Buffalo nickel and became one of the most collected U.S. coins. The design features obverse Thomas Jefferson, reverse his home, Monticello. By 1983, the United States Mint had modernized production, but coins were still heavily circulated. The early 1980s were a time when coins were used daily for small purchases, vending machines, parking meters, and transportation. Because of this heavy usage, finding an older coin like the 1983 P nickel in extra fine condition is getting harder. 1983 P mint mark. Why it matters: the P mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, which is the oldest and one of the busiest mints in America. Even though millions of these coins were minted, most circulated for decades, became worn out, lost detail, developed scratches and discoloration. But in extra fine condition, the coin shows light wear but clear details, sharp hairlines on Jefferson, clear lettering, clean Monticello steps. Coins from the early 1980s in XF condition are becoming more collectible because fewer clean, well-preserved examples remain. In 1983, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of 5-cent coins. However, the large mintage does not guarantee survival in good condition. The 3 key grades collectors look for are extra fine, light wear, about uncirculated, very slight wear, mint state, no wear, straight from mint rolls. Extra fine sits in the middle range, and these coins are becoming scarcer every year as collectors remove them from circulation. Market value today in dollars. How much is a 1983 P. Jefferson nickel worth today? Here is the actual market value. Circulated condition face value 5 cents, extra fine condition 20 cents to 40 cents USD. About uncirculated $1 to $2 mint state MS60, MS63 $3 to $10 high grade MS65 plus $20 to $50 plus. Exceptional MS66, MS67. These rare high-end grades can reach $150 to $300 at auctions, so while the XF value is small, the higher mint state grades are where the big money appears. Is it rare? The 1983 P 5-cent coin is not rare overall, but in extra fine condition. It becomes more uncommon, more appealing for collectors, more valuable in the long term because most 1983 nickels are heavily circulated and damaged. Collectors value sharp details, minimal wear, clean surfaces, good luster. This makes a well preserved 1983 P nickel a desirable piece for completing Jefferson nickel sets. Why collect this coin? Collectors like the 1983 P nickel because it belongs to the modern collectible era. It preserves a traditional American design. XF and higher grades are becoming harder to find. It can grow in value in future markets. It completes full-year sets of Jefferson nickels. Even though it's not extremely rare, clean high-quality examples are winning more attention from buyers. The 1983 USA 5-cent coin with P mint mark in extra fine condition is a piece of American minting history, a great find for modern coin collectors, a coin that is getting harder to locate in clean condition, a potential future collectible with rising demand. While the XF value is modest today, the real value appears at higher grades, where perfect coins can sell for hundreds of dollars. So if you have a 1983 P nickel in great condition, don't let it go. Top 3. The 1974 USA 5-cent coin with the Denver D mint mark. But here's the twist: we're looking at this coin specifically in bad condition, and we'll discuss whether it still holds value, how rare it really is, and the full historical background behind it. Historical background: the Jefferson nickel has been a part of American currency since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel designed by Felix Schlag. It features obverse Thomas Jefferson reverse Monticello, his historic home in Virginia. By 1974, the Jefferson nickel had already become one of the most used and longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The year 1974 was a time when the U.S. economy was going through inflation. Coins were used heavily in daily transactions. Millions of nickels circulated every single day because of this heavy usage. Most 1974 nickels today are worn, scratched, or in bad condition. The 1974 D mint mark. What makes it special? The D mint mark represents the Denver Mint, which is known for producing extremely large quantities of coins for everyday use. For the 1974 D nickel, millions were minted. Most went into circulation immediately. Almost all became worn down over 40-plus years. A coin from 1974 in bad condition usually has heavy wear, weak details on Jefferson's face, scratches and dents, faded steps on Monticello, loss of mint luster. Even though this coin is not rare in bad condition, it still carries historical and collectible interest. Mintage and circulation: the Denver Mint struck over 277 million Jefferson nickels in 1974. Because of this high mintage, the coin is common, but condition makes a huge difference. Most surviving coins are in good, very good, fine, all considered bad or low-grade conditions by collectors. Finding one in high grade is rare. Finding one in bad grade is extremely common. However, even low-grade coins have a place in the coin collecting world when they're part of a full-year set. Today's market value in dollars. Now let's talk money. How much is a 1974 D nickel worth in bad condition today? Here is the real market breakdown. Bad condition: GF grade, 5 cents to 10 cents. Usually worth its face value. Extra fine, 25 cents to 40 cents. About uncirculated, $1 to $1.50 mint state MS60, MS63 $3 to $10 high grade MS65 plus $20 to $80 elite grades MS66 or MS67 up to $200 to $400 at auctions. So in bad condition, this coin does not have big monetary value, but in high grade, the same coin can sell for hundreds of dollars. This is why collectors often check rolls of nickels or old coin jars hoping to find one in perfect condition. Is the 1974 D nickel rare in bad condition? Not rare at all. Millions still exist in similar or worse condition in higher grades. Yes, it becomes rare and valuable because most 1974 D nickels circulated heavily. High-grade survivors are scarce. Uncirculated coins are collectible. Errors or full-step coins bring premium value, but bad condition coins are common. Though still historically interesting collector interest, collectors still look for complete Jefferson nickel year sets, Denver minted varieties, full-step Monticello coins, error coins from the 1970s. Even a worn 1974 D nickel can fill a missing spot in a collection, serve as a starter coin for beginners, represent a piece of American history. Some collectors even enjoy keeping lower-grade coins for educational and display purposes. The 1974 D US 5-cent coin in bad condition may not bring big money, but it is still a coin with 50-plus years of history, a part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, a common but collectible piece of U.S. coinage, a reminder of American circulation coins from the 1970s, and if you ever find one in mint state, remember it could be worth much more, so don't throw your old nickels away, you never know what treasures you might uncover. Top 4. The 1976 USA 5-cent coin, with the Denver D mint mark, found in extra fine condition even though millions were minted. Clean and well-preserved examples are getting harder to find. So is this coin rare? Does it have a strong market value today? And what makes the 1976 D nickel special? Historical background. To understand this coin, we must first look at the history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel designed by Felix Schlag. The coin features obverse a detailed portrait of President Thomas Jefferson. Reverse Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia by 1976. This design had already been circulating for nearly 4 decades. The year 1976 was also America's bicentennial period, celebrating 200 years of independence. Although the nickel did not receive a special design that year, it still carries historical significance because it was minted during a major year in U.S. history. America saw increased coin circulation, economic changes, heavy daily use of small coins. This is why finding older nickels in excellent condition is becoming rare. 1976 D mint mark. What makes it important? The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the largest coin producing mints in the world. Denver produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels in 1976, but remember, most were used for decades. Many became scratched, worn, and faded. Only a small percentage survived in extra fine or higher condition. An extra fine 1976 D nickel shows sharp hair details on Jefferson's slight where only on high points, clean lettering, a readable Monticello building, light circulation marks, but no major damage. Collectors highly appreciate XF coins from the 1970s because most coins from this era were heavily used. Mintage and survival rate. The Denver Mint struck thousands of tons of circulating coins in 1976. The 1970s were a decade of huge production numbers for all denominations, but here is what matters most: high mintage does not mean high survival rate. In good condition, over 48 years later, many coins are worn out, many were melted, lost, or damaged. Only a smaller percentage remain in collectible grades like XF. This makes XF 1976 D nickels more desirable to Jefferson nickel collectors. Market value today in dollars. Now let's talk about the actual money value of a 1976 D 5-cent coin. Bad condition, circulated 5 cents. Face value, extra fine condition 25 cents to 50 cents USD. About uncirculated $1 to $2 USD. Mint state MS60, MS63 $3 to $8 USD. Mint state MS64, MS65 $10 to $25 USD. High grade MS66, MS67 $80 to $250 plus USD. High-graded examples are rare, and if they have full steps on Monticello, they can bring even more money in auctions. So while the XF condition doesn't bring very high prices, the potential for premium grades is where the real value comes in. Is the 1976 D nickel rare? Here's the truth: overall not rare. Mintage was large and extra fine condition, less common. Not many survived with clean details in mint state. Rare. Most 1976 D nickels are heavily worn in full steps. Variety very rare. Some sell for hundreds of dollars. Collectors search for clear Monticello steps, strong strike, attractive luster, no scratches or dents. These qualities increase the value drastically. Why collect the 1976 D nickel? Collectors appreciate this coin because it's part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series. The bicentennial year makes 1976 coins widely collected. XF examples are attractive and collectible. It fills a key spot in Jefferson nickel albums. Higher grades are becoming hard to find. Even though the coin is not extremely rare, it is historically meaningful and has increasing collector demand. The 1976 D USA 5-cent coin in extra fine condition is a piece of America's bicentennial-era coinage, a collectible example of the Jefferson nickel series, becoming harder to find in clean condition. A coin with increasing long-term value potential, a piece that can bring higher prices in mint state grades. While the XF value is modest today, quality matters. A well-preserved 1976 D nickel can absolutely become a future collectible. Top 5. The 1970 USA 5-cent coin, with the Denver D mint mark, especially found in extra fine condition. Is this coin rare? Does it have collector demand? And what is the actual value in today's market? Let's dive into the full story of the 1970 D Jefferson nickel. Historical background: the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel designed by Felix Schlag. The coin features obverse a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, clean profile details, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date. Reverse Jefferson's home, Monticello, e pluribus unum, United States of America. 5 cents. By 1970, the Jefferson nickel had already been circulating for 32 years, Becoming a major part of American daily life in the early 1970s. Coin usage was extremely heavy. Millions of coins wore down quickly. Finding older coins in good condition became difficult. This is why a 1970D nickel in extra fine condition is much more collectible today. The 1970D Mint mark. Why it matters. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the most productive U.S. mints in 1970. Denver produced hundreds of millions of 5-cent coins. Most of them circulated for 30 to 50 years. Developed heavy wear. Lost details on Jefferson's hair, cheek, and jaw showed weak or faded Monticello steps. This makes coins in extra fine condition surprisingly difficult to find. In extra fine, 1970, D nickel includes light wear on high points, clear lettering, visible Monticello steps, clean surfaces. A well-preserved portrait of Jefferson. Collectors appreciate XF grade because it represents a nice balance between affordability and quality. Mintage and survival rate. The Denver Mint produced several hundred million nickels in 1970, but survival in good condition is much lower than the original mintage. Most surviving coins are very worn, damaged, scratched, discolored, bent, or impaired. Coins that remain in extra fine or higher grades represent a small percentage of the original production. Market value today in dollars. Now the most important part. What is the market value of a 1970D nickel today? Circulated bad condition 5 cents, face value. Extra fine condition 30 cents to 60 cents USD. About uncirculated $1 to $2 USD. Mint state MS60, MS63 $3 to $8 USD. Mint state MS64, MS65 $10 to $25 USD. High grade MS66, MS67 $60 to $250 plus USD. Full steps variety $300 to $1,000 plus. Very rare for 1970D. So while the XF grade has a modest value, the top-grade mint state coins are where the big money is. The 1970 D nickel rare. Overall rarity not rare. Large mintage XF condition rarity moderately scarce. Most coins from 1970 are heavily worn. Mint state rarity rare and valuable. Collectors compete for perfect examples. Full steps rarity extremely rare. These coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands. Collectors look for strong strike, clean steps on Monticello, good luster, no major scratches or dents. These features help the coin stand out and dramatically increase value. Why collect the 1970 D nickel? Collectors enjoy this coin because it's part of the legendary Jefferson Nickel Series. XF coins display strong designs and details. High-grade examples are getting harder to find. It represents early 1970s American coinage. It fills a key date in Jefferson Nickel collections. Even though it's not a high-value coin in XF, it remains an important piece. For modern U.S. collectors, the 1970 USA 5-cent coin in extra fine condition is a historically meaningful nickel. A collectible grade from a heavily circulated era. A coin with growing collector interest. A piece with potential for higher long-term value. A hidden gem if found in mint state or full steps. While the XF value is modest, this coin becomes truly valuable in high mint state grades, proving that condition makes all the difference. Top 6. The 1957 Jefferson Nickel with NO Mint mark. Even in bad condition, this coin has a story, a legacy, and yes, a market value that might surprise you. So make sure to watch till the end as we explore its history, rarity, current value in dollars, and why collectors still look for this coin today. Coin history and background. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and quickly became one of the most circulated coins in the United States. The 1957 5-cent coin continues that series with the classic design. Obverse portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. Reverse Jefferson's home, Monticello. In 1957, the U.S. Mint struck millions of nickels. But here's the interesting part. No mint mark equals Philadelphia Mint. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on nickels. So if your 1957 nickel has no letter, it was made in Philadelphia mintage. The mint produced around 38 million coins. Not a small number, but most have been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated today. This is why even a bad condition 1957 nickel still holds interest for collectors, especially those completing full-date Jefferson nickel sets. You might think a bad condition coin is worthless, but not always. Coins from the 1950s, especially well-worn ones, are becoming harder to find in everyday circulation. Collectors look for these nickels because they are part of the early Jefferson Nickel series. The no mint mark Philadelphia version is popular. Many were melted or worn out over decades. They are perfect for starting or finishing a circulated grade set. So yes, your 1957 no mint mark nickel can still be a small treasure. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: market value today in bad condition. A 1957 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, in bad or heavily worn condition, typically sells for between 10 cents and $0 and 25 cents. That means 10 to 25 cents, still more than face value. Why does it sell? Because collectors want date fillers, budget-friendly vintage U.S. coins, 1950s nickels to complete albums. Even beat-up coins find buyers' value in higher grades. For comparison, to understand the true potential of this coin, Here's what it sells for in better conditions: fine 20 cents to 40 cents, very fine 50 cents to 75 cents, extra fine $1 to $2, about uncirculated $3 to $6, uncirculated, mint state, $10 to $40 plus high grade MS66 can cross $100 plus at auction. This shows how condition plays a huge role in value. This coin is made of 75% copper, 25% nickel, no silver in 1957 nickels. But the copper-nickel mix makes them tough and long-lasting, which is why many survived decades of use. The Jefferson nickel design stayed in use for 66 straight years, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history. So even though your 1957 no-mint mark USA 5-cent coin is in bad condition, it still holds collector value, historical significance, and a place in American coinage legacy. This is the kind of coin that reminds us of old pocket change, classic designs, and the rich story behind every small piece of metal. If you enjoyed learning about this vintage U.S. nickel, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more rare coin videos. Drop a comment below if you want the next video on another Jefferson nickel year. Thanks for watching. This is the Coin Spot, signing off.